Hey, welcome to the Deacon. My last video was about God bless you, and today I'm gonna share some thoughts about the prayer of God blessing me. And actually, the prayer of Jabez in the Bible, he prays a simple prayer and God blesses him tremendously. So in Chronicles 4 is an interesting tiny little story about a guy named Jabez, and it's in the middle of listing fathers and forefathers, sons and so on, just by names and who was the father to whom. And suddenly it says that Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. His mother had him named Jabez, saying, "I gave birth to him in pain." Jabez cried out to the God of Israel, "Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm, so that I will be free from pain." And God granted his request. And then he just goes on to Caleb, Shuha's brother, was the father of Mehir, and so on and so forth. And there was one of my friends many years ago gave me a little book about Jabez's prayer, which I was reflecting a lot on and praying to God about how can this be true, and can you just pray that you will bless me personally? And here it says that that he prayed, "Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory. Let your hand be with me and keep me from harm, so that I will be free from pain." And God granted his request. So when God granted his request was to enlarge his territory, and God granted it. And with enlarging your territory, man, there's a lot of extra responsibility coming. Like, let's say that his territory was just fields and goats and so on. There's a lot of responsibility. He probably had to hire a lot of people and treat them well and stuff. And I started praying this prayer many years ago, and I was actually a bit scared of praying it, a bit hesitant, because I knew that with more blessings would come more responsibility, and enlarging my territory would be growing in leadership and taking responsibility, and that was definitely with Sanctuary Denmark and in band settings, and becoming more famous or well known as a musician, as a band. I prayed the prayer, and I feel extremely blessed, and God has blessed me very much, and I have gotten a lot of responsibility. And I'm the kind of guy who I don't mind not being the leader, but I do recognize that I'm blessed, and with being blessed comes more responsibility for people around you. And actually, I just thought about the Israelites. They were praying, they wanted a king to rule over them. They didn't just want God, they wanted their own king. And God knew that it was a bad idea, not necessarily a king, that would be a bad idea, but he knew the hearts of us, that we can screw it up and become selfish, and with more power and less accountability, we can screw it up. But God gave them a king, and some of those kings were terrible. And I do believe that God sometimes grants us, answers our prayers, and let us taste a little bit of what our heart's desires, which are not always good. Sometimes, thank God, He doesn't answer our prayers exactly like we wanted, because He knows what's best for us. But I do believe that sometimes there are those situations where He'll actually grant us more success than where more responsibility comes. So that was the prayer of Jabez. So, but I'll encourage you to pray the prayer of Jabez from 1 Chronicles 4, verse 10. That God may enlarge your territory, let you grow in leadership, and then just know that more responsibility comes. Seek God, seek His guidance, stay in prayer, because it did say that Jabez was more righteous than his brothers, so he already had that foundation that he was he honored God in how he was living. Yeah, so God bless me. Have a great day.